Ryan Reynolds here for, I guess, my 100th Mint commercial. No, don't. No. I mean, honestly, when I started this, I thought I only have to do like 4 of these. I mean, it's unlimited premium wireless for $15 a month. How are there still people paying 2 or 3 times that much? I'm sorry, I shouldn't be victim blaming here. Give it a try at mintmobile.com/save. Whenever you're ready.
$45 upfront payment equivalent to $15 per month. New customers on first 3-month plan only. Taxes and fees extra. Speed slower above 40 gigabytes. See details.
Sephora's biggest sale of the year is on. Get 20% off the best gifts, including makeup from brands like Rare Beauty.
Oh my gosh, thank you.
20% off skincare from brands like Glow Recipe and Summer Fridays.
These are my fave.
20% off hair care like Way and K18.
I'm obsessed.
And 20% off fragrances like Valentino, Donna, Born, and Roma.
So good.
20% off your purchase, now through December 15th. Shop now at Sephora and Sephora at Kohl's.
Gangland.
All right. Welcome back.
MisFitNation.
Awesome.
If you're a veteran and you're struggling or feel like you are leading a path towards the darkness, stop and think about those who are around you. Think about how they truly value you, how they will miss you. You are not alone. You need to talk to someone. Someone will listen to you. If you feel like you'll be a burden to those in your inner circle or your family, or you're embarrassed to talk about it, feel free to reach out to the anonymous hotline at 988 and press option 1. Someone will help you. Don't make a permanent solution to a temporary problem. If you're a new listener, thanks for joining us. Please subscribe to our show on your favorite podcast apps. Don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel at _MisFitNation. It's _MisFitNation. Subscribe and click the bell. This will keep you up to date with our latest news, episodes, and of course the stories of our guests. Speaking of which, our next guest is the host of a top 1% globally ranked podcast, Show Up with Priyanka. Engineer turned entrepreneur, founder of Scaling to Grow, and creator of the LSC rule of scaling business method. She made a decision to no longer work in labor-intensive jobs, and in 2015 started her online business, which since she has helped make 7 figures in online sales and won several awards, including Top Woman Influencer Award for her efforts. She has been featured on many media outlets and reached over 3 million lives. So without further ado, let's welcome Priyanka Khandalkar to the MisFitNation. Welcome, Kat. How are you?
Doing great, Rich. Thank you for having me on the show. I love that beautiful, amazing promo you have in the start. And wow, it's amazing. Thank you.
Thank you. I'm glad we're able to connect. You reached out to me, I think it was about a month or so ago, and it was easy to say yes because I guess you have that savvy. The sales pitch was very easy and got me hooked in there. And now we're here to chat, and we're going to learn more about Priyanka and everything Priyanka is doing in the world, I guess, because you're reaching a lot of lives. So you're not just reaching just a local market, you're reaching everybody. So if you don't mind, if you want to expand upon the little intro I just did of you, go back as far as you want to go to where you started, the grind through your bachelor's degree at Western Michigan, and then the University of Mumbai for engineering. And then as far as forward as you want to go to how we got now.
Yeah, it's fascinating, Rich. Like we have such a unique story, all of us, right? And it's amazing when like when I'm telling my story, if like even some part of it connects with our audience, or because that's where we see the story inspires others, right? So back, I would say, like, myself, Priyanka, I currently live in Portland, Oregon, with my husband and with my 5-year-old daughter. And I came to US in 2008 to do my master's at Western Michigan University. And after that, I worked in automotive industry. I was in Michigan. I used to live in Michigan, so it's all automotive there. So I was around Toyota, Hyundai. I have worked with all Fortune 500, 100 companies. Work in furniture, car manufacturing, even John Deere. I've worked in John Deere too, where they make the combines. I have worked in Volkswagen. I have worked all over the time. And I think when I was working in this company, the only thing that kept me going was I was always curious how things move. And I come from mechanical engineering, industrial engineering. So it's all around like getting our hands dirty, like getting our hands greasy, and like getting in there and fixing things. I was in quality engineering. So always around complaints, dealing with projects which I have to like solve in like next 10 minutes, or there will be $1 million loss, because a car is manufactured in 2 minutes. So if you don't fix it right now, just imagine how much a car costs. Like, let's say 30K. So if you don't fix it in like next 1 hour, it's like 30 times whatever is 2 minutes, right? That many dollars you can lose. So I was always like, I knew that I'm amazing at problem solving. And then there was this phase in my own life after working in corporate in engineering that I got fired in 2014. And that was the stage I was like, I can't just rely on plan A. I need to have plan B. And that's when I started my journey of creating apps. So I created apps for university to retain students in engineering university. I was working with different deans from different universities of creating this app. And after that, I got into selling physical products like beautiful rustic furniture. And I sourced it from India, and I was doing that with my husband. And then also I was doing baby products. So I was doing a lot of physical product business did it for like 5-6 years. And later went to Tony Robbins' event called Unleash the Power Within in 2019, where I was like, okay, I need to get my voice out there because I have a mission. I want to like have a life where I'm really living in my highest purpose. And that's where I got the idea to start my podcast, which happened in 2020. I started my podcast. It's been running for like 2 years now. And I think it's just one of those periods where I finally found my voice, and I influence and impact so many lives all around the world. And that's when I started. I talk to amazing entrepreneurs every week. And that time I got this idea, oh, I do have this amazing expertise in operations coming from my background. And how can I leverage that to help multiple 7-figure business owners to scale and build their business? Because I think as an entrepreneur, we start our businesses with passion. Right. And the real test happens after you like start successfully building your business. You are in that growth stage, and then, okay, what to do now when I don't have the motivation? How to grow this team? How to like create this legacy because of which you even started your business? So that's when I started focusing on operations. And since then I have worked with like 6 different businesses as their chief operating officer. And now this year I'm going into like much larger goal, where I want to impact more lives, help more entrepreneurs to like create a more legacy, scalable, predictable, sustainable, profitable business. So that's where I am. That is short introduction to what I do.
You said you wanted to get out of the labor intensive, but you seem to work even harder now that you're not having your hands in the dirt now. So it seems like you actually work harder now.
Yeah, but smarter. I do have a team. But it's amazing. Like I love coming on podcasts like that. I'm also author of a book called Wings of a Woman. And I'm also a leadership coach for other executives like VPs and CEOs. So I do a lot of other pieces too, which I did not speak about, Rich. But I think I'm very multi-passionate entrepreneur.
Yes, you are, and I can tell you have joy in all of it. So that when you have that passion, it helps you to stay motivated and keep yourself pumped up to go. And I'm sure now that you said you have a team now, if you keep that team in that positive mindset, that positive momentum, I'm sure that helps the team produce better, doesn't it?
Totally. Totally. And that's what I coach my clients too about. Like, it's just not hiring. Like, when you hire a people, you want to make sure they stay with you, they grow with you. Like, because coming from corporate background, it's very different than the small businesses. In here, the teams are very small. So, like, once you start treating them like your family, and once you take them along your journey, once you get them invested in your vision, in your purpose, it's beautiful to have this family, a team, which is like there with you. They have your back.
Definitely, and I can tell just how you're saying that you love the team you have now. Did you
Mhm.
grow them? I mean, you built the team, so you had to be able to sit there and say that one's going to fit. This person's definitely going to fit in with these guys. You're going to fit in with them, and we're all going to mesh together. How do you maximize that team dynamic and get the most effort out of them?
Yeah. So even when I feel like to get the most out of the people around you, whether it's your family, your kids, your team, it all comes back to the trust and credibility. Because I think as a CEO, it's very important for us to let go. I think once you start letting go and like building that trust and credibility, they feel empowered, they take the ownership, they want to own that piece and like really show you what they can do. They become like they are like they're entrepreneur in your own company. So if you give them that ownership, give them that independence to like start thinking, have that creative thinking. It's not like whatever I say is the way it needs to be done. Like if you give that uh open up that room for or the space for them to grow, then it's amazing what they come up with. Because because when I started even hiring the people, like as I said, trust and credibility is so important. I actually built in the trust and credibility from the time I hire them. I also ask them for some personality tests. I make sure my job description is not copy and paste. It's actually very unique with respect to what are my core values, because we want to make sure the team who is going to join you, they align with your core values as a CEO, but they also align with your core value as a team, how you need to be. Because when that alignment happen, it just and when you have a team member who gets you, it's easy journey. But of course there's a process of delegation too, Rich. You want to make sure you're not like hiring people to fix things in your business. You want to make sure you already have a system in place, and when they come in, you hand over the standard operating procedure or whatever it is, the resources or asset. Give enough time for onboarding your team, give them all the resources, all the training, do the hand holding at the start. There's like a delegation process of how to even delegate things before you can like totally give them that ownership.
Definitely, and I like you said, the trust and credibility. You build your trust and credibility, and then you step back slowly, like you said, the onboarding system. If you have a good onboarding system, you'll read. That's a almost like a retention tool, because you can have a great onboarding experience, and then you say, "I want to stay here because they took care of me these 2 weeks, 3 weeks, however long onboarding takes for the company." And you want to be present. You want to be part of that win. When that company wins, you want to win too. You don't want to walk away. And I think that's very important, especially now when everyone's looking for that fast dollar, fast move up, fast here, don't want to actually do a lot of work. If you can get them to sit down and say, look in the mirror, I made this thing work today because I was part of this great team. I think that's very important.
Totally. And like keeping a tap on the emotions and the energy in the team. Like, even if we are all virtual, like my team is like all over the world, even if we are virtual, still having that daily check in. Like, I have some automation set in where they actually get like a survey every day where I'm checking in how is their energy, how is their physically, how they're doing mentally, how they're doing vibrationally, how they're doing as a team, where what's working, what's not working, what kind of support they need. So even keeping that daily tap on them, like not micromanaging, still building that trust and relationship, but also keeping a check on that they are doing well, right? So I think it's a big responsibility to be a CEO, but sometimes when we start our business, we are like big time visionary. We are not people manager. And that's where it can get tricky. Like you have people who leave your team before even they join fully on board. So
Right.
I think it's there's so many pieces into team onboarding. I can go on and on.
And I know when I onboarded for my current day job, they flew me to Virginia. We sat in a big group. I was sitting with people I wasn't going to work with because we have different teams all across the country, but no one from my team was there. So I was just trying to blend in with people I would never even talk to again, really, except maybe via email and say, "Hey, how are you?" Then when I got back to my team, they told me the reason they hired me is because they knew I'd be the one that would fit in with the team. And so
Love it.
this is the reason why we hired you. You may not have had all the check marks in your resume, but you had the characteristics to make this team get better. And that's why they picked me. And I said, that makes me feel a lot better. Thank you.
It's so important because I feel like we bring so much unique expertise. We bring so much unique flavor to a company, right?
Right.
And I think it's very important to understand how all that blends together. And I use many different personality tools too, because trying to understand like how this team is going to come together. If there's an introvert in a team, we want an extrovert to balance it off. If there's someone who is like a strategic person, we need someone who can do implementation. You don't want everyone just strategizing and no one implementing. So we need to like make sure we are like even when we are forming the team, like as a COO, I actually do a lot of hiring. I create a lot of organization chart. So I always make sure like I'm looking at all these pieces so that the hire is the best hire, which is it's both ways, right? The hire needs to feel like they are the best fit for the team, and the CEO needs to feel that they are the best fit for the team. So yeah.
They equate each other. They definitely have to equal each other in order for the whole system to work. And I know you speak about scaling your business and what is your LSC formula? That's what I really want to know. What is LSC and how is scaling to create profitable, predictable business?
Yes, so the LSC method, it's like three-step method, which is all about how to create this sustainable, profitable, repeatable business, which maybe sometimes the CEO start their business rich and they want to create a legacy. Okay, like their family will run it. They want to create a legacy for many years. Some business owners just want to sell it off, like after 10 years, 20 years. So first you need to decide whether you want to sell it or you want to create a legacy business. And after that, okay, regardless of whether it is a legacy business, whether it's you want to like sell, regardless of whatever is your end goal, you still want to create a business which will not fail after a couple of years, because only 4% of the businesses actually reaches seven figures, and only like hardly like every year there's like 90% of the businesses which leave, which stops, which fail. So I think it's very important to know how to run a business in a more stronger way, where our backend is strong and uh you can actually what do you call when we're like, let me go back because sometimes you have to explain. So businesses have many different stages, right? You have startup stage where you're just like doing planning, coming with ideas, putting team together. After the planning is done, then you are in like this five figure, like a growth stage. After your growth stage is there, you go into this multiple six figure. That's when you think about, okay, I want to go into seven figure, I want to scale my business. What resources I need, what systems I need, what softwares I need, what whom I need to hire. And then from multiple six figure, then you go into, after scalable, it's more of like, okay, what are the next steps so that I can increase my capacity, so that I can handle more clients. So the businesses go through these different phases or different stages. But as you are going into these different phases, there are certain things as a CEO we need to change. Our mindset has to change. Our leadership has to be up leveled. And that's what I talk about in the LSC. The first L is all about the leadership, which is all about your intentional energetic leadership, which is the foundation for your business, so that everyone embodies that energetic leadership and they're working together intentionally on the actions. The S stands for the systems. What are the systems? What are the structure you need to have in the back end of the things? Because as a customer, they can only see the front end of the things, like their marketing, but they don't know what happens in the back end, right?
Right.
In the business. So the second part of the LSC method is system, which is all the streamlined automated system. And the last part is C, which stands for the team culture, the culture of continuous improvement. Like if we said something once, that's not the only time we are touching it. It's like you have to always continuously improve it. So those are the three pieces of LSC method, and they keep on changing as you go from this different stages of business.
Outstanding. Now I wrote it all down. Now I got it. I understand it. So it's good. Usually I'm not able to keep up when people are explaining things, but I was able to understand everything you said there. So it's good. I know for many businesses, like we just talked, you don't really, people, like we talk about the onboarding is very important and having that leadership in place. Leadership also has to evolve with the times. And have you seen from where you've gone through the ebbs and flows from being on both sides of leadership. Have you seen the corporate change or the mindset change in leadership as you've now become that boss, that COO?
Yeah, I feel like people are going from that transactional kind of leadership, whether you are like, okay, you're micromanaging and you're like top-down approach, that is changed from there to like more intentional, energetic presence kind of leadership, which is more transformation, which is like you're not there to empower leaders because leaders are already empowered. You're just helping and supporting as a leader, like supporting and helping your team members to like really up level their leader, because and it's all around intentional. Like you don't want to have that hustle mentality. It's more of like, okay, as a intentional leader, what are the things we are going to do, and does it feel good to us? And there's more open communication, more open engagement. We are assuming good. We are focusing on becoming more of a positive, contagious leadership, which is like it goes back to the science of how the mirror neuron works on our brain. Rich, I'm going to go in there a little bit. Follow along. So when I smile, you smile, right?
Right.
Rich?
Yep.
So that is actually our mirror neurons in our brain, how that responds. So when I talk about intentional or positive leadership, I talk about what you present yourself, other people are going to embody that. It's contagious. Like my smile makes you smile, same way your positive leadership is going to motivate others or inspire others to respond in the similar way. And that's what I see the leadership change to be. It's not like a top down, this is who I am, this is how we need to do, but it's all about like coming together, mutually working together, creating that positive, contagious container for each other so that we can grow together.
Awesome. And see all this, I wrote down mirror neurons. Now I'm learning way too much today on a Monday, but this is great. We'll take a quick, about a 60-second break. We'll come back. We'll talk about your coaching business and your book. We'll let you talk about your book more, and of course your podcast.
Mm-hmm.
You're in the big leagues when you make a perfect slide. You're in the big leagues when you keep the team alive. You're in the big leagues when you block a shot or two. You're in the big leagues when you're in the big league chew.
Big League Chew, man-sized wads of great tasting shredded bubble gum stuffed into a giant Stay Fresh pouch for big league flavor and big league bubbles. It's Big League Chew.
You're in the big leagues when you're in the big league chew.
All right, welcome back. We're here to talk about Priyanka Khandalkar, learning about LSC, scaling businesses, her journey from University in Mumbai to somehow Western Michigan. I'm not sure that connection's kind of a weird journey there itself. That's a long journey to switch schools, but thankfully she went there, and we're able to talk to her now out of Portland, Oregon. Priyanka, welcome back, and let's go into your coaching business and how you decided I want to become a coach now and help others become their best self.
Yeah, I think it's very interesting, Rich. The word coach itself, like you are a coach now, right? And you're like, okay, I never went through that technical training of coach because you can get certified as a coach, right? So I never went through that. I actually, I was telling you about my story earlier, but I went into this world of Tony Robbins. And one of the things was like I applied to become a coach with them. They had some kind of like a thing going on, so I'm also actually one of their coaches. So I coach their students in their program to start their own business. And so eventually I became a coach there. And then, so that was my first experience to like coaching. And then I started like, I'm also a trained leadership coach, not coach I would say, but I'm just trained on leadership, all the techniques and tools. And then so I started doing leadership coaching, so I became a leadership coach then. So earlier I was business coach with Tony Robbins, then I became leadership coach with like to VPs and executives like director of operations, on up leveling their leadership, and they're working in different businesses. And after that, I was like, okay, like looks like I can do coaching. And then when I worked as a COO with multiple businesses, what I learned that I am half of the time I'm coaching my own CEOs on how they have to grow their business and changing their mindset all around sales, marketing, operations, all the pieces of business. And I'm like, okay, I can do this, I can totally do this. And then I was like, after working with one-on-one CEOs, I was like, okay, I need to help more entrepreneurs to like have a successful businesses. And that's when I was like, okay, I need to start my own coaching. So this year, like, of course, I'm doing all this leadership coaching. I'm doing coaching with Tony Robbins, but I'm starting my own coaching business, which is Scaling to Grow Accelerator coaching program, which is all about helping CEOs to build a sustainable, profitable business. And it actually focuses on the LSC method, which we spoke about.
It's outstanding. See, you have everything going. That's what I said earlier. You have, although you're not getting your hands in the dirt anymore, you're still very, very busy. And I think that's part of your passion is to stay busy and also help others to find their best way to become like you. And then they start their own coaching business and you can watch them flourish.
Yes, totally.
And then when you spoke earlier about your book, you threw a quick plug about it, but you didn't say a lot about it. So if you want to talk about your book, that'd be great.
Yeah, it's called Wings of a Woman, and it was launched during the International Women's Week in 2020. So it has been 2 years for that too. And I feel like it's amazing. Like all the stories in there, I wrote it with other I think we were around 15 of us total, other 15 women entrepreneurs from all around the world. We have like a woman from Bali who has a resort there. We have a woman from Australia. She actually helps people to write their books. We have women from UK. She's a pianist, a very famous pianist. So it's a combination of many different stories on different stages of our life as a woman as we go through. The story of mine in there is actually the story of how I healed my relationship with my mother-in-law. And I actually utilized the principle of intentional leaderships. And like what I embody and teach, I actually utilize that to heal my relationship with my mother-in-law, which went through a lot of misunderstanding. And Rich, you know how it can go, right?
Yes.
So, and it's a very, very thin thread of relationship, right? It can make and break because of what you say. And so that was my book. And actually the best part of the book is it actually made like the top 5 in all over the world in Amazon. So it was the top 5 Amazon bestseller, and all the money from the sale actually goes to like helping less privileged girls to get education and with their livelihood. So like all the money from the sale from the book actually goes to there. So I feel very grateful to do that project, and it's one of the series. We might be doing a volume 2 of Wings of a Woman, but that's the book. You can get it from Amazon.
That's outstanding, and I love that it goes to helping those young ladies who don't have that hand up right now, or don't have a leg up, and you give them that hand up by donating the proceeds to give them the opportunities that you also had when you grew up. So That's
Yeah,
outstanding.
and I'm so closely like connected to this charity because we know them personally and we see all the progress we have made with all our contribution. I saw a girl graduating with a bachelor's from there. So, and like also actually getting a job in US or something like with a company who is in US. And so I feel very blessful. One of them actually got a cow so that their family is not what do you call poor, like they can have the milk from the cow to like bring income to them. So all these different stories like which makes me like really like that's why I'm doing what I'm doing. Like it's just at the end it's like creating that impact which has a ripple effect.
And it's an all positive impact too. So that's outstanding. You they say teach a man to fish, he'll eat for that day, or fish for a man, he'll eat today. Teach him to fish, he'll eat for life. She bought a
Hmm.
cow to help her family, not just have a cow and have milk for them, but to sell it and grow their own families. That's
Yes,
amazing. That's just the positivity spreading from you and your co-workers down and down. That's outstanding,
thank
and
you.
you need to be proud of that there. And now we're going to transition to your microphone, your podcast, and you said 120 something episodes so far, right? We talked in the pre-show, so that's
Yeah,
outstanding.
it's amazing. It has been 2 years of a journey, and it's called Show Up with Priyanka. And it's all about intentional leadership. And so when I started, it was only about leadership, but now it has grown into since I work as a COO, I help businesses to scale. I do talk about their leadership, I do talk about their struggle, same way as we are talking today in Misfit, but like talking about their journey and then also bringing it their own systems and their own milestone in their business, like how they had to grow as a CEO when they starting to the first 5 figure to first 6 figure to first 7 figure. So I'm grateful, and I also talk to a lot of change makers and thought leaders and amazing positive entrepreneurs like who are like me. So I get to meet new people there all the time and I make this wonderful friendships. And I think that's so important for me, Rich. Like, that was my reason to start the podcast.
That's outstanding. And everything I time I ask you a question or about what you're doing, it's not just for you; it's for the people that you're helping. So that shows your personality and your energy, your positive mantra to help everyone. And I think that's an amazing thing.
Thanks. Thanks, Rich.
Priyanka, if you can give advice to someone wanting to become an entrepreneur like you did after you got fired in 2014 and you did a quick turnaround and have become just this amazing thing for the last 7+ years now.
Mhm.
What three tips of advice would you give a person thinking about doing the same journey?
I would say stay curious, really stay curious. And I think really understanding our emotions. If you are like looking at someone and if it brings you that jealousy kind of feeling, understand that that is something universe wants to for you to have it. Be curious about it because I think we can change that negative energy around being jealous to a positive energy when you start becoming curious about it and to learn more and to understand more. And also the second one, which I got from my own coach, always keep your green goggles on. I call it green goggles because there are ideas, opportunity everywhere. You just have to look at it and grab it and take actions on it. And sometimes taking actions can be hard if you don't have people around to like really ask or get some guidance or a roadmap or a blueprint how to do it. So be curious about that. Who is the person you need to connect with next? And their job might be just to get you to that next level. Like, what is the next action items you have to do? And sometimes it's just one or two action items. So I think staying curious is very important. Second is getting hold of either the book or the person who can help you to navigate that next struggle or next obstacle you are stuck at to like really take those actions. And the third one is to never give up. Never ever give up. give it give it 6 months. Normally any actions you take, it normally takes 6 months to really see the results. Nothing is instant. So uh take action, and as an entrepreneur we never give up. We stay on the course, we make it work. And And also start networking. I think that's a fourth tip there, Rich. Start networking. I think
I got a
networking
bonus.
is, yeah, I'm always networking, like even the podcast, like connecting with Rich like this today, even like on my podcast, I'm always connecting with people. You never know, like Rich might, if I have a struggle and Rich might just tells me, hey, you need to connect with this person, or you need to read this book. Like that is my like next step. So always network, like always find that opportunity local, like there's meetup groups, like or like travel, whatever it is, like being in the Tony Robbins kind of environment, like any person you get inspired by, any speakers, or like just going in that environment of that positive people around who can like really get you, because sometimes you need to find those people who really get you.
and want to be around you longer.
Yes. With all your craziness, right?
With everything going on, they want to be there. It's good.
Yes.
And how does someone get in contact with you? What's the best way to get in contact with you?
So I would say of course, you can connect with me on Facebook, Priyanka Khandalkar, the way it looks like. You can connect with me on LinkedIn. You can connect with me on Instagram, Priyanka Khandalkar. You can go to my show Up with Priyanka on Apple Podcast, Google, Spotify. It's everywhere actually. Um, Another place would be to send me an email, showupwithpriyanka@gmail.com, if you have any questions.
Awesome. Thank you for sharing all that. And I also have your website going across the bottom of the screen right now. So
Yes.
hopefully one of those places they can find you and be able to link in with you and have a great conversation with you like I have the last 30 minutes or so.
Yeah,
Thanks.
and if if you, Rich, like I know you have the website there, but if you feel like you're ready to start your business and you don't know where to go, I do have this free training which I do, and the website is scalingtogrow.com. You can put it in the show notes later, and it's a free 5 days challenge. If it's a free 5 days training I do every month, so you can also join in there. I would love to say hi to you and help you.
Awesome. That's all great tips and advice. Listeners, Misfit Nation, make sure you jump in on this. You don't often get a free 5-day class from anybody. So that's amazing right there. 5-day challenge. And I think you should all jump in. Priyanka, thanks again for taking some of your time on the West Coast there to join us here on the Misfit Nation today.
Thank you. Thank you, Rich, for the opportunity. Take care.
You too. Well, thanks for checking us out and being part of the Misfit Nation. Don't forget to visit our website at themisfitnation.com to catch up on all our episodes and also to get some Misfit Nation gear. So as always, be humble, stay hungry, and keep hustling because we are
It's Fit Nation.